Be with your day-to-day BYU Sports play-by-play. I am Spencer Linton, teamed up with Jarom Jordan. It's another Matich Monday with ESPN college football insider and BYU national champion Trevor Matich joining us on the Deseret First Credit Union hotline. Trevor, welcome on a winning Monday. Just how does BYU, a team that lost at Toledo and at South Florida, beat 14th ranked and previously unbeaten Boise State?
They let it fly. Instead of playing close to the vest and hoping that Boise State would make mistakes with their young quarterback that had to play as a backup because their starter was out, they said, nah, we're going to go out and make it happen. So they went forward on fourth down. They got some touchdowns on plays that were completely unexpected by Boise. The coach looked into his players' eyes at key moments on the sideline and made what seemed like risky calls, but it turned out were the right call for the moment. I think it all added up to a BYU team that played to win.
It was pretty gnarly because BYU's playing its third-string quarterback in Baylor Romney, its fourth-string running back in Sione Finau. The leading tackler is a guy that was a running back a few games ago in Tyler Algier. It was crazy. So where do you even start when you talk about who deserves the MVP of the game, and perhaps there were multiple?
No, there were multiple. I think the defensive MVP was Dayan Ghanwoloku. I mean, he was absolutely everywhere. Every time I looked up, I saw him making plays in the defensive backfield, behind the line of scrimmage, in the pass and the run. And I tell you, I think he belongs in the top tier of BYU defenders in my memory. You know, he's probably not the best, but he belongs in the conversation with the best. He has just been a fantastic performer, and he was one of the MVPs of this game. But really, I'd go with Baylor Romney as well on offense. Romney throwing the ball was showing a knack of throwing with anticipation to a spot with the right trajectory based on the coverage. And that's something that we haven't always seen. Actually, we haven't seen much from BYU for a long, long time. Even with Zach Wilson, he's a baller, man. He'd drop back, he'd see something, man, he'd sling that ball in there, and it was impressive. But when you do that a lot, it'll go the other way sometimes. And what Romney did, I think, was not play like he thought he was Aaron Rodgers or Brett Favre. He just knew where the ball needed to go, and he put the ball there with anticipation. When I say anticipation and trajectory, there were some key completions that he had where he threw that ball high in the air, and it dropped straight down on a vertical route. The reason that's important is because that kind of a route can help the receiver make up for other difficulties. If the ball isn't perfectly accurate, the receiver can slow down and box out that defender. If the ball is a little bit too far out in front, he can kick it into another gear, and he has time to compensate for it. That high trajectory, throw with anticipation, put the ball in a position for the receivers to make a play, and it got the ball out of his hands very quickly, so he was less exposed in the pocket. I think you put that together for a freshman walk-on. I thought Baylor Romney was a bit of a revelation as well.
ESPN college football analyst and insider Trevor Matich with us on BYU Sports Nation. Kalani Sitake, from his own 34-yard line with just over 2 minutes to play, as you said, elects to go for it on fourth and about a foot to win the game with his scrum package. Austin Kafensis at quarterback, Kairos Tonga in there to help push, Dayan Ghanwoloku in there to help push. What's going through your mind when you see the offense run back on the field in that moment?
I loved it. As they were considering it, I was thinking, Coach, go win the game. Go win it now. Because Boise had been on a roll. They had kind of gotten it figured out, especially with the passing game. They had scored 2 consecutive touchdowns. And then they went out, BYU went out and said, okay, no, we're not going to let you do this again. And the thing is, what's lost in the analytics and the statistics that are kind of taking over the sports right now is the human element. I mean, coaches will make a decision that the analytics will say not to do because he looks into the eyes of his players on the sideline, and he can tell if they're feeling it. He can tell if they're winning at those kinds of things. He can tell who's healthy and maybe who's not. It goes the opposite way as well. If you know that 2 of your offensive linemen are playing with sprained ankles, well, you're probably not going to run that play. But I think that the players wanted it, and he went with what the players wanted. It's moments like that programs can be built on, that programs can turn on. Let's go back to a long, long time ago. You guys won't remember this, but your parents will. Holiday Bowl back in 1980. BYU trailing SMU by 20 points with 4 minutes to go. It's 4th down. So Lavelle Edwards sends the punting team out. But he didn't consult with Jim McMahon. McMahon came over to Lavelle and said, no, send the punting team back to the bench. We're going for it on 4th down.
It was something like that, Trevor.
Yeah, pretty close. Yeah, that's my memory of it anyway. And so that works for me. So McMahon goes back out. Lavelle goes with his gut and with his players and looking into the eyes of his guys, and McMahon converts that 4th down, and the rest is history. It was, one of the greatest comebacks in the history of college football because of that decision to go for it on 4th down, and a big part of that was the look in McMahon's eyes. So I think that it was not as important as that game being a bowl game and all that, but it was critical to the trajectory of this program that Kalani Sitake looked into his players' eyes, and they looked back into his and says, Coach, we got your back on this. We got this. We can do this. And then they went out and did it. And then after the game, just the way the players talked about how much they love their coach, about how hard they play for their coach. And I think that's a moment that galvanizes. And so that was much more than stealing a win. That was a team that came together.
Did this win change the narrative of the entire season? Because there were some hot topics coming in, including Kalani Sitake and his job and renewal or not, and a losing record, maybe missing a bowl game. Did this change everything, or is it just the tip of the iceberg?
Well, it changed everything for a couple of weeks, didn't it? They go to bye week, then they go into Utah State. But when you look, if coming into the season, before they played a game, if someone were to tell you that with this terrible schedule, not terrible, very difficult schedule, that BYU would face 2 teams that were ranked at the time they played them, and they'd beat them both. And then they'd lose to 2 other teams that were ranked at the time they played them. They'd be 2-2 against ranked teams. What would you say?
You take it every time.
Awesome.
Every time. Now, you wouldn't take losing to Toledo and losing to USF, so this has been a bit of a roller coaster. But beating those teams that were ranked at the time they played it, USC's not ranked now, but USC was on a roll. They were doing great things when BYU beat them in overtime. And I think that, the roller coaster, the highs show the potential of the team. The lows, losing at Toledo and at USF, show things that need to be corrected. But did they not correct them against Boise State? I say they did. Because instead of letting the other team get back into it and eventually win in the second half, you had a Boise State team that led going into the second half and then came storming back after BYU took the lead. And instead of the same narrative of those 2 losses, BYU flipped the switch, changed the narrative, and finished the game against Boise State. I think that is phenomenal, and it should stop that talk. I never engaged in that talk anyway. But for the people who did, I think if you look at the way things are happening in this BYU program, there's a lot to be encouraged about.
Now, it's one thing to beat a team like USC with Zach Wilson and Tyson Williams and all of your horses going at full speed. But BYU just knocked off the 14th-ranked team with Baylor Romney, Sione Finau, and a banged-up offensive line. What does this say about the coaching staff this week, Trevor?
The coaching staff got the best out of their guys, didn't they? They knew what they could do and what they probably couldn't do. And they geared the game plan towards what they could do. In addition to that, you see, I think, one of the advantages of having coordinators on the field, because you can look into the eyes of the players and you can see how much confidence they have. You talk to the quarterback, you talk to the offensive line. 3 starting offensive linemen were out. And there's Jeff Grimes over there who's a grinder from the SEC. Talking to those guys saying, hey, what can you do? And then he decides whether to believe them or not based on what he sees on the field and what he sees in their eyes. And all that adds up to knowing what he has, knowing what he doesn't have, and how to match his play calling with the situation as it is. And I thought it was I thought this is one of the best coaching jobs from a tactical standpoint I've seen in a long time. We talked about the offense going for it. The defense was unleashed, weren't they? I mean, they were attacking. They were blitzing. They were saying if Boise is going to win, they're going to win under maximum pressure. if they're going to make a play, they're not going to make it because we give them time and we sit back and bend but don't break. They're going to make a play with one of our guys hitting them in the mouth at the time they release that ball or at the time they run that ball. And I loved the shift in defensive emphasis in this game.
BYU has 5 games left, Trevor. Utah State, Liberty, Idaho State, UMass, San Diego State. It would appear that BYU has 3 likely wins on there, right? Utah State and now San Diego State. San Diego State, 6-1, 3 out in the polls. So this is a good San Diego State team. Perhaps BYU is playing another ranked team. We'll see. What are the chances, in your opinion, BYU wins the last 5 to close it out in the regular season?
Well, winning the last 5 is a lot to ask because these are really good teams. Utah State, Utah State has always been tough. And especially tough for BYU. BYU hasn't been close to Utah State in a lot of recent games. You're right about San Diego State. They're also one of the best teams in the group of 5. And don't look now, but Liberty's 5-2. Liberty is 5-2. So in order to get to a bowl with 3 wins now, they've got to win 3. You got to figure that they'll beat Idaho State and UMass. Well, they've got to steal one against Utah State, Liberty, or San Diego State. And I'll tell you this: that BYU in that closing stretch. Say what you want about the Toledo and USF games. That's in the past now. In order for BYU to make a bowl, they will earn it because at least one of those wins will be against a really, really good team that BYU traditionally struggles with.
Trevor, great to talk to you. Let's go ahead and finish with this. Tell us your Heisman winner as of this moment.
Joe Burrow, LSU quarterback. He is by far the most effective deep passer in all of college football. When he has the highest completion percentage overall, but normally that happens in the nation. Normally when that happens, it's because the quarterback is throwing a lot of short passes at or near the line of scrimmage or behind it with bubble screens. So yay, big completion percentage, not defended, no big deal. Joe Burrow also has the highest completion percentage of balls that travel at least 15 yards down the field. He's 78% overall, 76% when the ball travels at least 15 yards in the air.
Whoa.
And you combine that with the games he's got coming up. I mean, he's got to play Auburn. He's got to play at Alabama. And if he's going to have ample opportunity in massive monster games for a Heisman showcase, and I think he's up to the task. And if you ask me today, your Heisman winner is Joe Burrow.
Hey, buckle up for big-time college football coming soon. Trevor, thanks so much for the time.
Thanks, guys.